Peace, my family, and we're all back to all those coming out of that good cocoon for the first time. Welcome. This your girl, the butterfly. We about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all that good healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right in that good 9 mind. How y'all feeling today? Hope you guys most definitely moving on up in your higher nature, your higher self, and most definitely cleansing the lows, your lower self. Balance, you don't want to all out. Remove certain desires and wants from your life. They're no longer good for you, or again, for your highest good. All right, now. So I came on here to express. And again, it's about where you keep your mindset these days. In these last days and times, right? It's about where your mental is. Because if your mental is out of whack, it means everything around you will be clouded. Clouded with impurities. And so, it's real, family. So you got to make sure you take care of your mental. Get your mind right. And what's going to help you do that, I must say, of course, it's the right knowledge, right? Because again, what people don't understand is, or some people that do, of course, is that the right knowledge is what you need to understand the realm that you are in. Understand the world around you, understand this planet, and beyond, within the heavens, right? So again, by knowing your history, the history, not just, our history, but the history of the planet in general, the history of the people on the planet, the species, animals, all types of things that people may know a little bit about, but with the right knowledge, you get more detailed, and you get facts, and you get science, you get evidence that really backs it on up, right? And again, if you were clouded with impurities mentally, indulging in things that is no longer good for you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, what people don't realize is also when you are in your lower frequency, which I've been there, right? So I experienced being in a lower frequency, right? When you're there, your mind is clouded. You can't really see clear. And of course, you're going to question everything. You're going to, be combative, argue back and forth, debate, all that stuff. Because, again, your soul is battling. Your soul is fighting, right? On things that you may not know anything about, may know little about, right? But when someone brings something new to the forefront, brings something new to you personally, you look like, it's so much different than what you've been taught your whole life. And when people get a grip of the matter, the fact that they've been lied to their whole lives, just to keep it simple, about a lot of things in this room, about mostly everything, and what this world really is, right? I realized through my journey that many people don't want to know the truth, right? They don't really want to know, or are they quite ready, right? Well, guess what? Ready or not, guess what? The truth must be told, because guess what? That's what the Most High says, right? So again, y'all can battle with yourself, wrestle with yourself about the facts of the matter and, the truth of the matter and, things like that. You can do that. your choice, right? But again, it's about, of course, we're not badgering friends and family and strangers and things like that. So much of what we would want others to see, people have to be open to it, right? And when you see people battling over and over, or just, you see like a wall, it's like more of like a block in their mind, and how to get to shatter it, right? Tear down the walls that they put up in their heart, and thinking that, of course, that is all that they, know, right? That's it. And it's nothing more to it, right? To get people to see, right? You just gotta tell it like what the world it is. You just gotta tell it like what the world it is, right? For the ones that do know, you gotta speak up. You gotta speak the truth, regardless. And of course, people are gonna, have many different reactions, of course. That is normal. And we have to learn how to be accepted of the reactions, right? Because, again, when people are in their lower frequency and that's all that they know, battling demons and things like that, been there, right? Within yourself, right? The things that we put, the poisons that we put in our body, that's what I call it, demons, right? Different battles that we face inside of ourselves that, we've been taught in this world. And let me remind people what this world is. This is the devil's playground, right? And the devils do play, right? They play alive all the time, 24/7, 7 days a week, right? No stopping, right? So again, we must understand that it's a game. And we have to understand what I came to realization is that when you stop no longer playing the game, when you begin to take your power back and realize you are the controller of the game. You choose to partake or not. You choose to decide what you want to do or not. And whether you want to cling on to things that help you escape, or feel like as if this illusionary thing where I've been there, where you feel like you just want to escape reality, want to escape the, illusion of it all, how you feel in it all, and not face life for what it really is, and face those problems and things that you go through on your journeys, right? And each thing that is presented in your life, let me just say, it's a test. It's a test to see how far you come. And of course, if fail, all right, get on back up and try again. Failures are only stepping stones to success, right? So we must understand it's okay. Get up and do it again until you pass. Because again, the Most High gives you every new day a chance to work on yourself and pass those tests. So again, when the time comes, you will graduate from this realm, right? And move on to higher realms of existence. Question: don't y'all want to do that? Aren't y'all, tired of this realm, right? Whether people know it or not, they live many lives, things like that. Some people are new to this thing, but again, we must understand that when you're going through life, going through situations and things that come up in your life, you gotta learn how to be level-headed. We gotta learn how to laugh. No, I'm serious. You gotta learn how to laugh. Because sometimes all it is for you to be present in the situation, be present on what you're seeing, being present on what is happening, and again, know that the Most High is with you as you walk through this valley, right? The Most High is with you all the way. Know this. Y'all must know this. And when you're being faced with certain things, it's up to you to decide if you want to face it or not. And again, learn your lesson, right? And of course, you pick up certain bad habits and addictions along the way, of course, because we have been taught to use that, as escape mechanisms and things like that. Now, realizing that you're not escaping from anything, it's just prolonging the process. It's just, keeping you stuck in that same place. And some people like that stuckness, the fairy tale land, the la la land, Some people like that place, and they don't want to get out of that place because they're comfortable, right? Getting outside your comfort zone is where it's at, because that's when you begin to walk into the unknown and walk into your destiny, right? Because when you begin to go against what you've been, taught your whole life about the world and going against what, the 60 divorces have been planned for you, right, in your life, and, distractions and things like that, and when you start to just go against, things like that, when you begin to fight for your soul, right, fight for it, you have to start fighting, because it's a battle within, right, because you have to be the one to stand. You have to be the one to stand and say no to things that, it's not good for you. Those battles are real. And when you're stuck in those places, again, when you're going through that dark moment, dark places in your life at times, it's needed because, again, we put ourselves there, right? Put ourselves there. And we can get ourselves on out, right? And what I realized, and at least how I did it on my journey, is I realized that, of course, through the Most High's help, right, I prayed about it, right? I prayed about it. And I wanted to stop doing what I was doing. I wanted to stop smoking. I wanted to slow down on the drinking and eventually stop, right? I wanted to stop, right? But it took time, right? And so when you realize what it is that you need to stop doing, and really the reason behind why you do certain things, again, it's things that you must face, regardless. If it's presenting and playing in your life, it's some things that you have to conquer, right? The attachment to, people is real, right? Attachment of the love for people is real, right? And again, when you're trying to, block out how you really feel, numb it, whatever the role you do, so you can't feel it anymore, that's when it becomes a problem. Because when you're numbing it, it's not going anywhere. It's still going to be there when you're done. It's still going to be there when the smoke clears. You're still going to be sitting with yourself each and every day. You're still going to be sitting with yourself. Realizing that you're still butthurt. Realizing that the feelings that you feel are real. And we have to acknowledge how we feel. We can't block it out. You have to learn how to release it. How you can do that. Man, oh man. It's how I did it. Of course, learning meditation, right? Acceptance of how you're feeling. Accepting of the situation of what you're going through. Accepting the things and what they're telling you, right? Regardless of what you feel about it. If it's hurting you and it's not getting you anywhere, why are you there? Why are you there? Out of love? Okay. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. We can love family. we can love. But we have to learn how to love ourselves more. I'm just saying, more, right? Love ourselves more. Love ourselves more. Because, and that's in every situation included. Because if you're constantly going through situations where, it's going to keep resurfacing until you conquer, right? So you got to be able to stand up for how you truly feel inside. Don't hide it. Speak it. Say what you mean. Mean what you say. No more hiding how you feel. And that's where this whole thing came from. Because I remember back in the day, when it started bringing out this type of music where, people get in their feelings, and it's a thing where it's a bad thing to be in your feelings, right? You in your feelings, right? Like there's some type of bad thing to feel like you in your feelings. And let me just say this. Ain't nothing wrong with you being in your feelings. That's the trick. They don't want you to feel. They don't want you to feel how your soul really feels about things. And yes, you're going to experience all different types of emotions, and that's okay. You're going to experience these things. That's needed. That's needed to release and get it on out. However you choose to do that. Of course, not in a harmful way. But I'm saying you have to figure out a way to get it out. You have to release it. That balled up energy is just going to be stored in your body until you begin to release and express how you truly feel. And oh man, that part, it feels so good. It feels so good. Because once you get it off your chest, get it off your heart, you become free, right? But you got to learn how to be honest with yourself. You got to learn how to, be true to who you are. Because again, family, it's the reason why you feel the way you do, whether you put yourself in those situations or not. It's the reason why you feel this way. You have to learn, because that's like a radar for you, right? If you're feeling some type of way, right, you have to begin to analyze how you really feel. Why are you feeling this way? Who is doing this? Do I need to know more information? Do I need to gather more information to understand why this is happening? Why am I feeling this way? What is going on? Sit back and watch the show, right? Till you actually realize what it is, till you figure it out, right? But, it's not about jumping to conclusions. It's about learning, right? Because, again, I just realized that some people feel like we're in this society where people just realize that they feel like they just know everything. And bombshell family, we don't know everything. We always have room for growth. We always have room to learn something new, or someone can teach you anything. You can learn from a child, right? You can learn from anywhere, right? And again, you have to be open. We have to be open-minded because, again, we're living in a universe that goes into infinity and beyond. What a laugh to feel like we really know at all. Like we just know it, right? And we can put out theories all day. All day. That don't make it true. They don't make it true. We have to just move with facts and science and evidence. Things that you can prove, right? And the thing is, that's what's going to help you get further into knowing what the truth really is, right? But again, you must know your past. You must know the history behind it. People act like, it's a thing where, people are lazy, right? People don't want to take the time to read, but not realizing that's their treasure. You understand? What I mean about reading is that, the Most High has sent things and scriptures and scrolls and tablets that are must be read. Okay? That's what I meant by read. We must read, it must be read too. Now, don't get it twisted, family. You can get your messages from many different ways, right? And many different shapes and forms, right? Of course. But don't get it twisted about the reading part. People feel like, they don't want to read. I done heard that a whole lot. And what they don't realize is that is the biggest treasure. Reading. That is the biggest treasure. And this is just me speaking on what I experienced in my journey. Because again, what the Most High has to say matters. And y'all can pinpoint and pick out everything that y'all want to pick out about what y'all, don't see, or contradictions. Things, of course, that's what you're supposed to do. But again, when the Most High sends help, like our master teacher, Dr. Malachi G. Bell, that brings the great works that is needed to give us the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Facts beyond a shadow of a doubt, right? And only way you're going to know this is if you begin to read not just one book. Try to read all of them, right? And he wrote so many, right? So as many as you get your hands on, just saying, go and do your deep study. Go and do, your self-study. Because, again, family, everything is really not what it seems. And, of course, you're going to battle back and forth like, is that true? Because, again, you're battling your lower self and those demons inside, right? And we all have them, right? Different things just attached to us from birth, right? And of course you're gonna have that moment and you're gonna battle. It's gonna get real. You gonna cry. You gonna feel some type of way, right? But just know, don't give up, because again, everything that our master teacher says is for a reason. Everything that he puts out is for a reason. Everything that is in there is for you to know. It's for you to check out. It's for you to research. It's for you to know for yourself. And that's, again, the missing link. And so, people can battle that up and down, all around and around. But you're only battling yourself. Just know that. You're not battling me. You're only battling yourself. And what the Most High says, straight up. That's it. So, you understand that you have to, deal with yourself. And again, let me just say this too. When you're in your lower frequency, when you're indulged in bad habits and certain things like that, like I said before, your mind is clouded. So if you are reading the scrolls and things like that, not in like a sober type of mind, just know. You may not see things correctly. You may not see things in the right way fully. You have to be in a pure state of mind as far as being sober-minded when you're reading things too. Because again, you can go back, okay, let's say on a date, okay, when you're sober, you're not doing anything. And then you go read it again. And you're like, you might find something that you didn't see before, or you might thought it said this, but then, it said this. What? It said that. My bad. See, that's why it's best to read when you're sober. Sober-minded, clear mind. It's best to read. But again, that's how you're supposed to read. You're supposed to read when you're sober, so you can get it in when you have a clear state of mind, sound mind. And so, my family, this is love at its fullest. This is love. People are looking around the world and asking where their help is and what's going on. Well, guess what, family? The Most High has sent the help. Question mark. Have y'all figured it out yet? Or are y'all continually just keep rejecting it? Because if you have, people, you have people, out here saying this, that, and the other, right? About our master teacher, right? But not really checking out his works, right? Because that's what we're telling you. most people that's out here that support our master teachers are telling you, check out the works for yourself. And if you don't agree with the works that's being put out, then that's by choice on you, right? But you were told, right? You were told. So you did our job, right? You were told. And that's what it is. It's not about, of course, it's not about keeping the things to yourself. It's about sharing. And through sharing, you grow. Through sharing, you develop. And then if you continue to keep, raising your consciousness levels up with the knowledge that you need in this realm, you'll get it. Because, again, you be well studied in a lot of things in this realm, okay? To lead you to who you truly are and why things were hidden from you for so long. Because the Great Awakening is here and it's real. And we must be on one accord with it. So, know, again, that you are loved, right? Beyond this world. Begin to spread that love one to another. Be the peace that you seek. Release our master teacher, Dr. Malachi. Peace, shalom, hashuk, divine love, family, and wadu. And it's all